Oh, Aram Messiah, tell them how you feel. You shake and lose and break and build, you know go retire. You gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump. You gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump. You gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump. You gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump, gotta jump. I'm on fire, I'm on fire, burning. I'm on fire, I'm on fire, I'm on fire, burning. Oh, I'm on fire, burning. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, grand rising, shalom, shalom. This is Lady O, Lady Day. The recording today is going to be information that will be an addition to what was done yesterday. Now, we are giving this elder Judah the Hebrew enough warning shots. It's a metaphor that elder Judah the Hebrew is familiar with, because he has used that metaphor many times in his Zoom class that I attended for 2 years. And Elder Judah seems to forget how we met, and he's creating a narrative. And it's a very dangerous narrative, especially knowing that there's plans for me to accompany the ADDI to go to Burkina Faso, and he's fully aware to assist the nation in this awakening. So what he's intentionally, maliciously doing, because of his emotions and his hurt feelings, he is sabotaging efforts that benefits the nation and awaken more before the end time. What Judah the Hebrew and his flock are doing, they are allowing their emotions to steer them into a destination of no return, because there will be blood on their hands for the lives that were missed because of the waste of time, and also the harm that they're doing to turn people off and away. Many times I've been in that Zoom class and they all are so waiting for Yahushai to return, because they can't wait and they can't wait because of selfishness, because they're now awake. And now that they're awake, to hell with everybody else. Just come for me now because I am ready. You see, that type of selfishness is the same selfishness that is not thinking about the actions that are being done, that's damaging and is causing reproach. Now, I hear the chatter of people talking about this is messy. And I've seen this a lot in Christianity, especially with you women who take the side of the abuser, the one who's causing the strife, the one who's creating the conflict, the one who's creating the mess. And when their actions are being called upon and responded to, you women in the church who are now in the awareness, I wouldn't say awakening, you're now in the awareness of being a Hebrew Israelite, you bring that nonsense over here. And the men who are coming into the awareness, who still have the stench and the smell of Christianity, of Seventh day Adventism, of apostolic, of all these different Christian denominations, they love the fact that they meet you type of woman in Israel because you still smell and you still stink. This is the same attitude that has suppressed our men and our boys from being men and being boys. Because of you women, it's either you're totally masculine or you're totally docile to speak truth to your leaders who are wrong. You would have the energy to send direct messages, or you'll have the energy to want to speak to the victim, the one who's on the other side of the assault. You'll have the energy to go to them to tell them, oh, this is messy. Let's just pray about it. Let's just, forgive and forget. Let's put it in the hands of the Most High. But you don't go to the man, the elder. You don't reach out to him. You don't send him a message. You don't call him up. You have access to the victim, so you use that access to tell the victim and make the victim feel like them standing up for themselves, them calling out the darkness, they speaking truth to the lie, they're in the wrong. They're causing mess. Then you will then call their actions, they're gossiping. I don't know how anybody's gossiping when it's in plain sight. It's in the public domain. See, gossip is when you DM people, you whisper, 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 you're over here whisper, whisper, whispering, you sending messages to each other. That's gossiping. I don't gossip. Those who are close to me, they don't gossip. Everything is in the open. And if you know Lady O, Lady Day by now, if you have come across or encountered grace and ease by now, if you have interacted with the content on Oak Network by now, if you have come across the mirror work coaching by now, you would really know, and you would have known by now, that we don't do anything in secret. We don't whisper, whisper, whisper. We expose. We expose. So I don't know how speaking out publicly is gossiping. I don't know how speaking and defending yourself, especially being a woman and being attacked by a man of influence, being attacked by a man who have power. How is the woman now the one who is creating mess and conflict and gossiping when everything is being done in the open, responding to the attack? Now, I would wonder how David, when he was facing Goliath, I could only imagine now the type of conversations that were coming to little David. I could only imagine. We read these stories on the other side, and we never ask ourselves, what role are we playing in our present situation that would mirror the characters and the people in stories that we've read? Those young men that went into the furnace, I wonder how many people were trying to counsel them just to bow down, just to worship. Why are you making it so difficult? Why are you bringing? The book of Maccabees, I don't know how many of you who are aware, and I wouldn't say you're awakened. Many of you are talking about you're in the awakening. I'm awakened. No, you're aware. You haven't gone to the awakening yet. Those who are awakened do not react the way you react. Those who are fully awakened, we see the wiles and we see the hidden hands and we see the act of war that's being done psychologically, passive aggressively, implicitly, explicitly. We see all manner of warfare that you don't see. I've been here many times. I am 50, I'm 50 years old. There's things I have seen and experienced. We are very thankful. The sisters on the other side of being aware, and we are now in the stages of being awakened. We are thankful for those sisters who see it and understand it and understand it. And you have quickly voiced your support and encouragement because you see exactly what's happening, because you've been here. You're not new to this. So we thank you. Being a woman in this world, being a woman in any type of awakening, in all man-made religion and all of the various camps and various assemblies who are now aware of being a Hebrew Israelite. This gender identity of being a woman is a very interesting and unique and eye-opening one. How we are treated, no matter what side of spiritual awareness we stand. If we're in the world, if we're in Christian denominations, if we are in other pagan religion, if we're in other religious constructs, and in Israel, no matter where we go, it's quite interesting how we are treated by men. Yet still, these men would know and have all the knowledge of all their spiritual literature. And the woman is always the one in every religious belief system and every spiritual formation. The woman is the one who brings forth life. The woman is the one that keeps your religion going. We have to birth the next you. We have to birth your next prophet, for those who believe in that. We have to birth your next preacher, your next evangelist, your next prophetess. We are the ones birthing them. When it talks about, and people like to use that verse, that the curse is the fact that there will always be a tension, a conflict, enmity between the woman. It would be interesting for you to truly read all of the books and the ones that are not in the 66. Those numbers that people just play with. It would be interesting for you to truly read and see how the same woman that many use to demonize is the very same woman that birthed your Messiah, that birthed your prophets, your priests. Now I'm just talking about Yasharal, I'm just talking about Israel. And it's the same woman in the end of what was being revealed to John of who is going to crush the head. That woman at the beginning is always the woman through all of the pages. That woman is still the same one that is saving you. Through the woman comes your savior. So through the woman comes your warriors. Through the woman comes your priests and your prophets. Through your woman comes that which who crushes the head. Through the woman, yet still, it's the woman that continually is attacked, and then it's the woman who continually is sacrificed, and it's the woman who is left uncovered, and it's the woman who is abused. And it's that same woman who is now shunned when she dares stands up to evil. Yet still, it is that woman who plays both sides of the ending. A sister friend of mine shared in a chat. She shared what another sister shared to her about two sisters. And when I read that, I had to smile because years ago, I would say 2012, a vision of two sisters came to me because of a personal battle I was going through with a sister. And the Ruach Kodesh showed me that we're sisters, not by physical family ties. We don't have the same mother, we don't have the same father. Family ties. Yet still, the Ruach Kodesh showed me that we were two sisters and we represented the two type of women in Israel. And the two type of women at the end of the day were sisters because we all come through that oneness. Abraham. That branched off, but we all are from Abraham. And the Ruach Kodesh showed me that we're two sisters, and one is the beguiler. The one is the one that brings men to their knees. One is the one that is out there to steal, kill, and destroy another sister's home, another sister's peace of mind. One is the Jezebel. And the other sister is the one who is trying to build, trying to mend, trying to assist the nation. One is the best friend of Alua, and one is the enemy of Lahua, but they're both sisters. And they both obviously was birthed by two women, but one of the women who's the mother of the darkness familiarizes themselves with witchcraft, so that daughter, no fault of her own, is birthed into that family environment where they're going to Seventh-day Adventist church, but then they're also walking up the hill and going through the bushes to meet with witches. But at the same time, they have positions in the Seventh-day Adventist, different parishes and different portfolios. But they would walk up a hill, and I actually visualized the path that this mother goes to to give to the witch what needs to be done. But they play both sides of this. 1 minute, they're praising Alua, but then again, it's Jesus and God that they praise. So, and on the other side, they do these things, yet still, they do believe in the God of Abraham. They do believe in the stories. And yes, they call the name the way that we all at one point in time were taught different names and told that it doesn't matter because it's different languages. But as we become aware, we are aware that it's not just simple words. Words have an energy and a spirit attached to it from the creator of it, the intention of what it is. Even if you change the intention of it, it doesn't change the origination of the energy and the spirit that was behind it. So you do your best to now become more aware, and you now study to show yourself approved as to, have you been diligent in truly wanting to find objective truth? And that's a journey because they've intentionally made finding truth difficult. So the other sister who's birthed to a mother and a woman who is far removed and don't want to have nothing to do with witchcraft, that daughter is exposed to different things and a mindset and a non-compromising way. And there's things that she will never touch. And if she dares come close to it because of being rebellion, there's something in her that's going to be like, what are you doing there? This is not for you. So it comes back to that statement of training up a child in the way that they should go and grow. So when they become of age, you don't depart. So even if they fall off the tracks or they're disobedient, there's something within them that would say, hey, that is the child that was birthed to and through the mother who truly wanted to live right and truly believed that they were worshiping the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, called Israel. And we're not playing the role or playing the part, but truly desired to be spotless. And then you have the other mother who was born in denominations and born in Christianity and born in Seventh-day Adventism. I'm calling that name because there's a reason for that. And they go through the motions and they go through the routine of it, but their heart is truly not to be spotless. They play around with those things, and they play around with family members that play around with those things. So their children are born seeing things as compromisable. So the record has showed me that in 2012 about the two sisters that are in Israel, the two sisters that are in Yasharah. And they are in Judah, those two type of sisters. So fast forward now, when you have a man in Judah who has been exposed to the two type of sisters, that man would have a spirit that would desire to be around one type of sister and not the other. And that man will desire to change and want to control the sister that he doesn't really desire being around, to want to change her into and become the sister that he is familiar with and he likes. So when you are that sister who is not exposed to whatlessness, and compromising and living a double life or being two-faced, and you come across men in Judah whose environment and whose country lifestyle and the way in which their environment has exposed them to, they love the bacchanal, they love the drama, they love the sisters who remind them of that familiarity of their environment. And that type of man is a dangerous man in Israel because they have a propensity to be around women who are compromisable. And the sisters who are not, they have to be very, very careful. So, Judah the Hebrew, you are compromised and you are around many women who are compromisable. And as a result of that, they keep leading you and feeding you that fruit, and you keep eating it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when these women came across another type of sister like myself, who don't play those games and who lives at a different standard because of what she has been exposed to, what I have been exposed to, and the level of commitment to Yahweh and loyalty to objective truth. Myself and others like me will always be a threat. And eventually, as much as there is something within each one of you that admires, it will always turn out to be vicious because what's in you cannot be around objective truth. It's just somebody's going to have to adjust, and it's never going to be me. And sisters who are like me, it's not going to be us. So now that is where the conflict comes, and that's where what was once seeming to be so friendly and cordial, and it will turn sour quickly, and the attacks will come. So you're now in such a fall. The only thing left is truly for you to repent very, very quickly, Judah the Hebrew. Very, very quickly. So I am now showing the emails of this Keon Young. And Judah the Hebrew, when you were showing the emails, why didn't you scroll all the way down? Because this person always has their signature at the bottom, and you would see the connection. But just like what you did with that other brother Kidau's emails, you selectively open what you want to open, and you just show everything. Just show everything. When you have nothing to hide and you don't have a narrative to curate, you just show things. We're all here to help each other, or so I thought. I never once would think that Judah the Hebrew would ever use something innocent, pure, good intention, assisting, and turn it into something dark. That just shows the darkness in his heart. But that's that. So we end of that with the receipts. So you saw the receipts of the TikTok messages, And then the next video is going to be the receipts of communication between myself and Judah the Hebrew. So Judah the Hebrew, this is your third warning. And I'm doing this because I've told you to take down that video. But you left the video when I first sent you the warning shot. It was only 300 and something views. And now it's over 1,000 views. So you're keeping it up. You're in defiance. You're being intentionally non-compliant. So I have to continue. And this is going to end in a way that is going to be fitting for someone like you. Someone in Israel who has positioned himself as a leadership, and you self-endorse yourself as the great one in your video, the greatest among, the great one, the chief. I think I'm the great one. I think I'm the great one. We all heard it. We all saw it. So for someone who is the great one and you have a high level of influence and following, you're abusing your power and you're abusing your influence to make people hate their brothers and sisters within Israel when we're supposed to be coming together and loving each other. You are actually ripping us apart. And on top of that, instead of being an elder that rebukes liars and rebukes animosity and contention, you're actually stirring it up in the people within you. You're actually stirring up the dark energy within them. You're not making your people come to a place of repentance where they're actually starving their flesh. The spirit and the flesh, they war against each other. And you're actually encouraging the flesh to grow in these people instead of being a leader that is encouraging them in your lessons, in your conduct, and even in your feedback. You're not encouraging them to starve the flesh, to put the flesh under their feet. You're not using your influence in a positive way of weakening the flesh in your people and allowing their spirit and their soul to actually grow and override the flesh. You're actually there conjuring up, and I'm using the word conjuring up intentionally. You're there actually conjuring up and stirring up the pot of conflict and hate and separation, and you're making their flesh become more and more superior. They can't even hear the still small voice of the Ruach Kodesh to tell them stop. So much so they can't even hear the Ruach Kodesh tell them to correct you. So these people that you're leading, you're going to have their blood on their hands because you're leading them astray and far away from righteous conduct. And here we are coming close to the feast days, and you're going to make them go through the rituals. I'm going to say rituals because they're going to be so much like the people of old, where they do these rituals and it's not going to mean anything. It's not going to hold. Yes, symbolically, but it's not going to hold.
No matter what I may